There are a few questions which are commonly asked when we discuss presentation skills. So I want to take these questions one by one. It is incredible to understand that how you are going to introduce yourself while you are about to deliver the presentation, and specifically when it is for your clients or for someone you are meeting for the first time in that presentation room. So recommendation is, while you are introducing yourself and while you are sharing your name, try spelling it out for your audience. So for example, let's say my name is Manpryt. So I say, hi, I'm Manpryt, and I spell out my name as Manpryt. This is how I am garnering the attention of my audience. B, my audience will remember my name and can easily recall my name whenever it's possible. So yes, this is how I am creating that seriousness amongst the mind of the audience, that I am here to deliver the presentation and you are here to listen to me for about next 15 minutes, 20 minutes, or how long that presentation is. So it is very important to set that credibility right at the beginning in the introduction. Just try it out once for your next presentation. Just try spell it out and see the confidence you will pass on to your audience will be at a different level. The second is, while you are introducing yourself, and this is specifically when this is for the first time, you are meeting these people and you have to share the experience, your total experience. So when I say total experience, please share your total professional experience, because this is how you are creating that value amongst the mind of your audience member, that you are creating that, instigating that gravitas, that okay, when your audience will about to listen to you, they know that okay, if they are listening to some presenter, the presenter knows the business very well because he or she is carrying that amount of experience, and the presenter is really serious when he's about to deliver the presentation. So that's how you are building the credibility right in the introduction, by sharing your total work experience. The third is that you can always share the relevant experience. When I say relevant experience, that means that you are going to share a presentation with them. You are going to deliver certain agendas in that presentation. So relevant experience with that agenda. So for example, you are about to talk about certain technologies or techniques. You are about to talk about certain situations, or there are certain critical decisions to be made based on negotiation skills. So you have to share that relevant experience. For example, in the very recent projects, you have handled those situations, you have handled those techniques. So please share that experience, because this will set the credibility to the next level, and they will understand, your audience will understand that this presenter has got a knack of knowledge about it, has been thorough with has got a great proficiency what he or she is going to deliver in the presentation. So this becomes very important and imperative recommendation to share the relevant experience before you are about to start the presentation. The other important aspect is that right at the beginning, you can share the objective or the agendas in very brief with your audience, so that they should know right from the beginning that these are the agendas. Let's say you are going to discuss agenda 1, agenda 2, agenda 3 and agenda 4, and in 1 or 2 sentences just brief them about, so that their mindset should be well intact, that okay, these are the objectives and we are not going haywire at any purposes. These are the main purposes to be discussed in that presentation. So it is for them, it is to set the objectives right from the beginning, and this is how you begin your presentation, or this is how you should start your presentation with, alongside with your introduction. If it's feasible for you, you can also share the timeline right from the beginning with your audience. See, I am going to deliver this presentation for about next 20 minutes or next half an hour, and we are going to discuss these agendas, so that your audience will be well aware of the fact that for next half an hour, this presenter will going to deliver the presentation and on these. So the timeline, if you want, you can set it according to your convenience. The other important recommendation is that if you want to add the question and answer round in your presentation, you can very well share it right from the beginning with your audience, that hey, after discussing all these agendas, we will take your questions probably towards the last leg of the presentation, and that's how they will get to know that okay, if they have any relevant questions to be asked, or if they have any query, they can ask it right once you are done with your presentation. or if you want to take the questions amid the presentation, then you can always share with your audience that hey, you can always ask me the question. However, once I'll thorough with the purpose 1 or the agenda 1, then you can ask your queries pertaining to that, and then I can move to purpose 2 or agenda 2, and then accordingly you can keep asking me questions relevant to the agendas as and when we discuss. So this is how you can set the protocol right from the beginning, and this is how you can begin your presentation. The next is that if you are in a virtual setup, let's say there is no actual meeting room, but you are connected through your systems, through your calls, then there's always a way to connect with your audience, and it's a conference call, it's a group call. Then please try to address people by their names. So if you are connecting with Mr. A, Mr. B, Mr. C in that entire call, and if you want to ask a question to someone and you are delivering the presentation, then always address the person, hey Mr. A, I would want to know if what is your input on this, or Mr. B, what is your perspective on what I have just discussed in agenda 1. So it's always good to connect with people even when you are virtually connected by addressing their names. Yeah, so that's how you can keep approaching to each other, and that's how you can very well address to each other. The other important recommendation is that even if you are in the virtual setup, then please maintain your body language as if you are actually sitting in the meeting room. So if your cameras are on, so try not to slouch forward towards the screen, because it looks not very professional, and it doesn't reflect as a very professional body language. So you have to be very straight, firm, smart in front of the camera, so that your reflection should come across as that you are professional enough to conduct this presentation even in the virtual setup. How much of information should be given in the one slide? As a presenter, it becomes your responsibility to convert your entire information into the bullet points, and do not give too many bullet points in the one slide, just 6 to 7, so that it can be easily readable for your audience while you are delivering the presentation. Do not give too much information in that presentation, because if you are giving too much information, your audience will read it and they will say ki share it through email, we will read it all by ourselves, because then the presenter's role will go into oblivion. Then there is no need of a presenter. Just give the bullet points so that it can come across. As a presenter, it should be your referral points, and then as a presenter you can explain it to your audience, and that should create the curiosity in the mind of the audience while just reading the bullet points. So the entire information should not be given in any sort of slides. There are a few situations which I want to discuss, that as a presenter, how you can handle it effectively and efficiently with very much confidence. The first is that what if an audience member would ask a question to a presenter, and a presenter is not very confident about answering to that question. Maybe he's not or she's not very equipped with the accurate knowledge, and he or she doesn't want to pass on that half knowledge or any information which the presenter is not very well aware about. So in that case, it is okay if a presenter doesn't know any certain piece of information about what the audience is asking or the audience member is referring to, then it's absolutely fine. It's absolutely, because presenter is also a human. However, how to handle that situation is, a presenter can easily, the first is that presenter has to acknowledge that audience, and when I say acknowledge the audience, they can presenter can say, hey, thanks for asking this question. However, currently I will not be in a position to answer you or to respond to you, because I might give you a half knowledge which I do not want to give. I do not want to give any wrong information, because I am not thorough with this piece of information, and I have not validated yet. So let me get back to you once I will validate it from my reliable resources or sources. This is how you handle it. However, recommendation is, please, as a presenter, if you stumble upon any situation, then once you have committed that you will get back to that audience member, then you please be ensured that you have to get back to this audience either through call after the meeting, either through call or through email, but please address that question after having after having the validation from your reliable resources, or after understanding or do your own research on that particular response. But please be ensured that you will get back to this audience member, and don't try to car park forever this question, but then try to respond it. The another situation is that if a presenter forgets something, a part of a content to be discussed, a part of something which is written on the slide, then the realization to be done by presenter is that till the time it is not being reflected on the face of the presenter, the audience will never get to realize that. Or if the presenter will not use words like, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot something, or I'm forgetting something, the audience will never ever get to realize. So presenter needs to understand that he or she has to be very confident, even if it's absolutely fine if the presenter forgets something, because again, presenter is also a human. And if anything, a presenter forgets something which is not very important, and if that cannot be shared in the presentation, that hardly makes a difference, then quickly surpass that information without the audience member will get to realize. However, if there is something which is important to be discussed and the presenter forgets something, then swiftly you can look towards your slide, just refer to that particular point and then try remembering it. However, when you are swiftly or quickly moving towards your slides and just passing through back and forth, you are taking that slides, nobody will say anything. Your audience will understand that absolutely. Then you can quickly just look towards your slides and then just read out that particular point, and then you can recall, or it can remind you of what you are going to discuss. These were certain things I want to discuss with you all through this video on presentation skills. Still, if you have any query pertaining to this topic, you can always ask the questions in the comment section, and I will try to respond as immediate as possible. Thank you.